Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Great big welcome to all of you to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. Another wonderful morning to be together. I'm Sarah, and this is Doug, and so is that, and this is Yvette. And yeah, we're going to start you off with some songs, and I invite you to stand if that's comfortable. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand. My heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. I will be, I will be, I will be. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Woo, 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 woo. Y'all sound so good.
I love finishing that one with the jazz hands. I just think it separates us from other congregations, which of course is not our goal, but it's still fun. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces. That's weird, they feel too strong. Oh, mine was the lens that's gone.
It's on the table in there.
Okay. Always something different, isn't there? You plan, you organize, and then. That's the lesson of life. So, it's a joy to be with you today. I'm the one that sparkles. We're more than a Sunday service here. We're a growing, heart-centered community grounded in spiritual principles and open-hearted love. This is a philosophy that we live hour by hour. It's not just to come and listen to something on Sunday. You got to work this thing. Oh, do you think? Not quite, but thank you. Picky. Anyone that knows me knows that. Our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. And that begins right here with how we show up for one another. If you're here for the first time, I don't think I see anybody, but we have little packets by the door. We've got a Science of Mind magazine there if you've never seen that. And if you've been here a long time and you haven't used the magazine, grab one of those so you can see them. Wonderful stuff monthly and on your way out. If there's a gift certificate to the bookstore, right? And to those joining us online, welcome. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your company. There's so much goodness unfolding here. Oh my gosh, she fixed me up. Wow. Woohoo! Okay, wonderful. Okay, it's behind me. I don't want to step on it. Oh, okay, good.
It fell right out.
The excitement, I tell you. There's so much goodness unfolding here. We just had a sample. So be sure and check out your newsletter because I'm going to hit some highlights here, but there's a lot going on and it's all wonderful. So the most wonderful thing in my personal opinion is we're doing a Valentine's Day on Saturday night. And thanks to people like me that like to get out when it's daylight, we've changed the hours to accommodate old people. And the dance is starting at 6, and it'll go till 9 or when it's done. A palantine, you know. Or yourself. I bring me and my stick. So anybody in any shape or form can enjoy this thing. It'll be fun. So it's Saturday night. The Vision Board Bash was awesome yesterday. Big thank you to our amazing events team who planned and set everything up. Yeah. We're getting so much done better because of this team. So that's wonderful. And a lot of people donated the gear for the vision boards, so nobody had to spend money. So nobody that didn't want to, that is. And there'll be another vision board bash on February 21. So if you didn't get your stuff together in time, which was me, maybe you'll be ready in 2 weeks. And our lovely Kathleen Wolf will be celebrated here on February 28, that's a Saturday, at 2 p.m. So be sure and make time to at least remember her in your own way. And if you can be here, that'll be wonderful. It's going to be great. We still need office and bookstore volunteers. With the absence of our beloved Kathleen, we're still looking for a few friendly faces to help cover Saturday. She was the face of the center for many, many years. It's 9 to 1 on Saturday morning, and we're going to get a team so you don't have to commit every Saturday morning. See Reverend Bonnie if you're available to cover a shift. And then we have this great book study starting on Thursdays, February 19. It's the wonderful book by Edwene Gaines. She is such a hoot. I've seen her live 3 times. She's just wonderful. And the book is called The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. She's the queen of prosperity, if you ask me. She's the queen of tithing, I guess you could say. But it's so rich. She's just so funny as she helps us do it. And it goes far beyond money. It's the abundance of fulfillment, purpose, and joy in all areas of life. So really a wonderful book study. So here at the center, we believe in the power of prayer, and we practice. And one of the things we do is meet every week, some of us, in a prayer group where we pray on the prayers you send us. And your forms are on the back of the chair in front of you or behind you. And there's also a gratitude form there. We love to hear how the prayers are working out in your life and that God is there for you. There's nothing like, that's why Ernest always said, this is a practice. You got to prove it to yourself. So get us to pray for something and then let us know that it worked out. And you'll be proving it to yourself. So prayers go in the basket as it comes by for your offering, or there's a box in the back, hand it to me, whatever you want to do. And there's a button on the website. But also, a number of us are here in our blue stoles today, and we are available for prayer right after this, after our session. And so just a quick one, if there's anything on your heart today that you'd like to just ease up on. So it's all good. So now it is time for song, silence, and prayer.
Song first.
No.
Her song.
Her song. Am I out of line?
Are you out of line? No, never.
Okay.
Doug, it's fine. But it's my time to sing now.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll stay out of it.
Okay. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. You are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a father's warm embrace, you are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace, forever safe in the arms of love. Like a child receives protection from a mother's warm embrace, we are held in the hands of grace. We are held in the hands of grace.
I'm so grateful to be a part of this community and here with you today. I feel Spirit moving through each of us, opening us to receive the message today, opening us to see the love in the eyes of the people we're with. We are so blessed to have this community. We are so blessed to be one with Spirit, that we carry that energy with us everywhere, and that it is always there for us, always for us, always bringing us highest and best. I am so grateful to be a part of this, and so it is. Our reading today is from Ernest Holmes in the February guide. This will be a little more interesting. Divine givingness, wonderful topic. Sometimes I almost hesitate to speak on the subject of the presence of God because I do not happen to think we go anywhere to find God, or that we get anywhere that is away from God, or that we look at anything that is not God. I actually believe, but do not pretend to understand the full significance and meaning of so profound and yet so delicate a proposition. God is in all, over all, and through all, and God is all. What you and I call human is divine. What you and I call ignorance is merely our lack of appreciation of wisdom. What we call evil is good misplaced. Hell is not hot. There are only two things wrong with it. I think it is a place, first of all, where there isn't any harmony. It might be right here. And I also think it is a place where there's no humor and no wit, where everybody is droll. Wouldn't that be hell? It would be for me. Religion is not a long-faced, strange, and peculiar thing. It's the only natural, the most deeply natural, the most divinely transcendent, the most philosophically sound thing there is in the world. The Bhagavad Gita says that the self must raise the self by the self. Here is the soul, here in the soul is hidden the immanence, the transcendence, both. That is, humans are both God and humans, because God, as a human, in a human, is a human. And there is nothing else you can make a person out of. Where would you go to get the material? You wouldn't. And so it is.
Okay, Doug. Welcome, Doug. He is doing our special music today. Yay!
Thank you. Sing along as soon as you get the hang of it. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Way beyond the blue. I got a home in glory land, outshines the sun. I got a home in glory land, outshines the sun. I got a home in glory land, outshines the sun. Way beyond the blue. When I am in trouble, Lord, do remember me. When I'm feeling joyful, Lord, do remember me. When I'm feeling thankful, Lord, do remember me. Way beyond the blue. When I'm on my knees praying, do remember me. When I'm in my home praying, do remember me. When I'm in the world praying, do remember me. Way beyond the blue. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Do Lord, oh do Lord, do remember me. Way beyond the blue. Glory, hallelujah, we shall not be moved. Glory, hallelujah, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. When the tempest rages, we shall not be moved. Into the rock of ages, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. In God's love abiding, we shall not be moved. And in God confiding, we shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Let's do that one again. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Thank you, Doug. Doug number 2. Remember what you just sang, we shall not be moved, when you listen to this talk. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here at the center. And Jennifer Breve, you did it. Welcome back. She was having technical difficulties. Welcome to everybody online. Hopefully you can see us now. I'm so grateful for the help. And this has been one of those mornings, hasn't it? Been kind of interesting, in line with what I have to say this morning. So last week, Yvette gave us an amazing talk about centering into the self and listening within, especially when you feel knocked around by the world, when your glasses fall apart, when the technology won't work. What do we do? How do we right ourselves and stay in that place of center? This month's topic originally was embracing the edge. And then the Science of Mind magazine came out with embracing possibilities. And so I've had all of that. Yvette's talk, embracing the edge, embracing possibilities, all of that running around in my head. And so I would have a few questions that came up, of course, you know me and my questions. Is anyone else feel like they're on the edge, or is it just me? There we go, yeah. Whew. It could feel like the edge of a breakdown or the edge of a breakthrough, but it feels like an edge. And for me, when I'm on the edge, I feel edgy. And so what causes me to feel like I'm on the edge is usually newness and change and new roles and new expectations, which are all things that are happening all around us. I think Pamela was saying this morning, all these new people and new things. Newness is alive right now. It's the key word that came through our visioning. And so, of course, I'm like, I'm a little bit on the edge. But the thing that really can push me to the edge is when my body has physical issues. Yeah, there we go. There's other people here as well. The edge is when I'm not really feeling centered fully in myself. Now, it is possible to be centered on that edge. That's why I said, remember his words. We're rooted on the edge. We're keeping those roots deep to hold us up. But we can spend a lot of energy staying focused on that. And Yvette's talk reminded me of those weebles that wobble and don't fall down, because that's what I pictured as she was dramatizing for us how it feels sometimes these days. Like we keep getting knocked around, but we pull ourselves back up to center. So being on the edge can feel a little wobbly, and our desire is not to fall. Or You might have seen some of those motivational posters where the person either jumps off the edge or falls off the edge and they sprout wings. One of the possibilities, we sprout wings, we have a soft landing, there's a net that catches us, there's something else that we aren't expecting that happens, and the possibilities are endless. Well, I have found that when I'm sort of wobbling on that edge, if I'm spending a lot of time going, what if this catastrophe, what if that catastrophe, what if, I wobble a lot more. And if I can do, like Yvette was talking about, and sort of bring my focus back in, and if I can entertain all possibilities, it helps me to right myself, to get back into that space of calm, and then I can listen within, and I find it's kind of a cyclical thing. The calmer I get, the more I can listen, the more I listen, the calmer I get, and it just all works together. And then I usually reach the breakthrough instead of the breakdown, and there are some times when the breakdown allows for the breakthrough. It all works together. And today, my focus is on the body and what this body is doing for us and how our bodies tend to follow our minds. And sometimes our minds get pushed around by our bodies. What's going on in our bodies can drive us to the edge and demand attention. Anybody had that experience? I know we've got a few people in here. So when I think about embracing the possibilities in relation to my body, I often think about, well, what can I do? What can I do with this body? How can I move in this body? What can I accomplish? How much can I lift? How far or fast can I run or walk? How high can I jump? How long can I dance? All of those things I think about in my body. All kinds of possibilities and things go through my imagination. And the bottom line is, what will this body allow me to do today? And sometimes it's not what I was imagining. So where is the edge of what my body can do right now? What does that look like? And what are the possibilities for what it could be doing? And how do I exceed my wildest dreams physically as to what I can accomplish? I think I've shared in here before that when I was in elementary school, I had this fantasy that I was like Wendy and Peter Pan, and I would hold on my friends' hands and we would sail over the mountain to school so we didn't have to walk over the hill to school. And there are times when just going up a flight of stairs feels equally as fanciful today. Seriously, when I went and visited my cousins in Denver last summer, I realized since I had my knee replaced that there are muscles that need to relearn how to go upstairs. And they have to re-strengthen. The one leg was, ooh, what's the problem? The other one was like, oh, how do I talk to it? How do I get this mind to tell that knee to lift up that high and push that hard? So there are ways that I realize that my body is shifting. And trust me, I know what I need to do to fix that situation. I don't need anyone to come up afterward and tell me what exercises to do and how to fix me. I promise, I do know what I need to do. My point in sharing all this with you is because as life happens, things happen. Things happen in our bodies along the way, and we might find ourselves with physical challenges. And when I say challenge, I mean when the body isn't doing what we want it to. When we can't see with both eyes the way we want to, right, Judy? When it's not maybe able to move in the same way. I used to be able to do this, but it's just not wanting to do that anymore. And it might even be causing us pain or suffering. We're feeling like we're on the edge with our physical bodies. And so as I contemplated that this week, being on the edge, embracing the edge, and embracing possibilities, I had a realization that was deep inside, and it was sort of subconscious, and it definitely rose to my consciousness. I actually felt like my body had betrayed me. And since we teach I am God expressing, I have to admit that somewhere deep down in there, I felt like God had betrayed me. If God is perfect, how can it be expressing like this in this body? And I see a lot of heads nodding. So Ernest Holmes has a lot to say about the body and healing. A lot of new thought is rooted in the abilities to heal and that concept of healing. So I want to share some of what he has to say. This is out of the Science of Mind text on page 107. He said, the world is beginning to realize that it has learned all it should through suffering and pain. Surely there can be no intelligence in the universe that wishes us to be sick, to suffer pain, to be unhappy, and to end in oblivion. Surely if God or universal intelligence is imbued with goodness, then it could not ordain that we should ultimately be other than a perfect expression of life. We have shown that our nature is the same as God's nature. We should have no intellectual difficulty in realizing that an infinite intelligence could not make an automatic individuality, and this explains why we suffer on our road to self-discovery. Our suffering is not God ordained because we create our own experience. And as we become individualized, by individuality is meant self-choice, volition, conscious mind, personified spirit, complete freedom, and a power to back up that freedom. And that was capitalized, the power to back up that freedom. So, I read that, and my translation or understanding of it is that we have God's nature. We define God as love, as creative, as joyful, as peaceful, and free. And we have the freedom to make decisions throughout our lives, to have the choices that we show up and we choose to do different things. And sometimes the things that we choose create in us an experience that feels like suffering. Okay, so keep reading. Page 109, he says, on the road to self-discovery, we must be subject to the law of reality. And if in ignorance we violate this law, we must therefore suffer. This is not, however, because any divine decree ordains suffering, but simply because it is the necessity of the case. God never intended us to suffer. Suffering may be salutary in that it leads us to a place where we learn that it is unnecessary. Now, when he's talking about following the law, I just have to throw this in. It's kind of like saying, okay, we know that if we follow the laws of gravity, we can't jump off the roof and expect to sprout those wings quite yet. So those are the kinds of laws he's talking about. When we don't follow those laws, things show up that feel like suffering. Well, at first, some of this seems promising, and especially when I first read it before my body started doing some of this stuff, because what we're saying is that suffering is not God ordained. It's not something that is like you have to experience this. And unlike some teachings, we don't teach that when you're suffering from something or experiencing something, you're being punished for your bad behavior. That's not what we're saying either. He is saying it could be a consequence of choices we've made, but it's a natural consequence. It's not some guy up there saying, ooh, you were bad, you're going to suffer now. It's a different way of seeing it, I think. So further on page 203, Ernest Holmes says, while we maintain that disease is primarily a thing of thought, we do not deny the actuality of its experience nor the suffering it causes. Instead, we seek to heal it, and we cooperate with all, no matter what method they are using to relieve distress. And for those of us that have had backgrounds, mine was in Christian Science, this was good news for me because, man, it didn't matter what I chose as a method for healing or helping myself relieve pain, it's all good. And the practitioners in this teaching will work with me, no matter what my choices are. Further on, he said, scientific mental healing is the result of clear thinking and logical reasoning, which presents itself to consciousness and is acted upon by mind. It is a systematic process of reasoning which unearths the mental cause or idea underlying disease and presents the truth with a capital T about our being. Wow, that's a lot. And one of the things that we have come to recognize in this teaching is that sometimes in New Thought and Science of Mind, reading that sort of thing and hearing things like healing is the result of clear thinking, those ideas sometimes have been doubled back on us, either by ourselves or by other people, with comments like, well, what were you thinking when that caused that? You feel that? Oh, that doesn't feel good. We're learning that that's not exactly what's being talked about here. Once we have an experience, we can go back and figure out, okay, maybe this isn't so clear. I can clear up my thinking about this. But what happens is we begin to blame ourselves, or we might blame others. We blame ourselves for every ache and pain and illness, as well as for any mental angst, feelings of depression, sadness, or even grief. And the blame eventually leads to feeling shame for all of the above as well. And that, to me, is the suffering, and that is not God ordained. It's not what we're about, to create a sense of blame or shame in people's experience. And I think that all of us who want to practice religious science or New Thought, I always say we all want to be shining examples of being practitioners of this teaching, whether it's a small p or a large p. We want to be shining examples of how this stuff works. And so when it appears to not be working, we pile on the guilt and the shame, especially when our bodies might be requiring a little assistance, when we need those glasses to see, when our bones might need to be set, when a joint might need to be replaced, when a cane might need to be used to relieve pressure, or a cane or a walker or a wheelchair to keep balance, stability, to move around, when we might need oxygen to keep our oxygen levels up, when we might need the FM system, this thing here that helps people hear, hearing aids, whatever it might be. The list goes on forever. When our bodies need a little assistance, I think we tend to move ourselves into a place of blame and shame. Ernest Holmes said in our reading, humans are both God and human, because God as a human in a human is a human. I saw some of you go, when she read that the first time around. And he also said, like I just read in the Science of Mind text, healing is a result of clear thinking. So what is meant then by clear thinking, and how do we achieve that? Well, I mentioned above, sometimes we tend to move into that blame and shame thing, and when we do that, we're also doing a lot of shoulding. Okay, I should be able to heal myself. I should be able to clear my thinking. I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z, or I wouldn't be experiencing this. I should do this or that better. You fill in the blanks, if there's any shoulds that you're piling on as well. And so once again, as I was grappling with all this and thinking through it, I surprised myself because I found myself right back in another old belief that I thought I'd kind of moved beyond, but it's still hanging out in there. Now, when I say old belief, practitioners of this teaching help us to look for old beliefs being beliefs that maybe when we think about it, we go, oh, I don't really believe that. Or it's a belief that no longer serves us, something we picked up as a kid and it no longer serves us, but sometimes they still kind of hang around in our thinking. And this one obviously was, and it is, if I'm a good girl, if I'm just good enough and do and think everything right, then I will be rewarded. Everything will go the way I want it, and I will be healed. Just if I'm good enough. I see some nodding heads, so some of you might have had that thought. Well, just like I said, our teaching isn't about suffering as a punishment. You're not being punished if this is an experience. It's also not about good behavior equals a lack of suffering. God is life. It's the life energy in us. It's the love expressed through us. It's not a reward and punishment system. I think sometimes we want it to be that simple. And I think part of our suffering today is because we want it to be that simple and we see bad behavior going unpunished and good behavior not being rewarded. And that creates a lot of that angst, that upset, that anger that we're also dealing with. So, what I've discovered is sometimes things just happen. So what happens when we're on that edge that says, sometimes life just happens beyond our conscious control? What do we do on that edge? How do we embrace that edge, embrace what is, embrace what's showing up, and embrace all the possibilities that are still out there for us? How do I move into clear thinking? Well, I thought we should take a little twist and a different angle as we think about this. I'm just throwing all this out for you to start percolating. Did anyone ever tell you when you were growing up, you're too young to do that? Yeah, you're too young to drive, you're too young to date, you're too young to get married, you're too young to have a child, other things. I don't want to go into the you're too young to smoke, drink, all that stuff, because I don't like holding those out as a reward for growing up. But have you ever also been told, you're too old for that? You're too old to sleep with your blanket, is what I was told. My security blanket I kept with me a long time because my mother said you're too old for it, and I was going to prove her wrong. You're too old to be afraid of the dark. You're too old to horse around like that. You're too old to dance with abandon. You know that's not true, right? So what are we taught about the stages of life, the ages that we go through? What were you taught? What were some of those messages that you were told? You're either too young, too old. Then think about, what are your thoughts about people older than you? And then people that are way older than you. I have to keep reminding myself, I'm now in the category of senior. I can't hardly believe it. How'd I get here? So what do we think about that? And what do we think about people who are younger than us? Again, what kinds of thoughts are in our minds? And what would it look like to clear some of those thoughts? To maybe shift some of that thinking. When I was a kid, I thought adults had it made. I thought when I got to adulthood, I was going to move out of problems into solutions and everything was going to be cool. Adulthood has been quite a surprise. It hasn't quite been that way. Healing is a result of clear thinking. Looking at some of those messages and thinking, how can we clear that up? What is the actual truth in these situations? What does it really look like to be of a certain age at a certain time in our life and go through these experiences? And what are the possibilities and potentials for that? I invite you all to spend some time this week thinking about that. No matter how old or young you perceive yourself to be, to contemplate, what have you been told? What have you been taught? What are the messages you've gotten? What do you believe about age and aging? And how can some of that be cleared? I was pondering all this and decided to take a little break, and I was going to go to my favorite magazine that I like to read that gives me inspiration, called Spirituality and Health. It's now combined with Unity. And, surprise, the cover of the magazine, Judy Collins, Grace Notes on Growing Older. I took that as a sign that this is the talk that needed to be given. I read her interview in here. It's very interesting. So I pulled out a few of the key things that she had to say. She said, friends keep us on the planet. Draw on your spiritual community. Integrate wellness practices to navigate grief and aging. Meditate in ways that work for you. So you can walk in the woods or sit on a cushion and everything in between. Whatever kind of thing works for you as meditation. She said, solitude gives me tranquility, and silence leads us to an understanding of our presence and our place in the universe, which is such a mystery to us at many times. There's a lot more in the interview, but I wanted to share her conclusion. The interviewer said, "So you see growing older as an opportunity for growth, creativity, and fulfillment." And she says, "Absolutely. I believe it's wrong to think of age as an impediment. Age is just a number. I'm telling you that 86 is the new 27. Judy Collins. Yeah. So, when we give these talks, I think we want to be a source of inspiration. We want to uplift. We even want to have answers. I know at least I do. And so I will tell you that I don't have your answers. I can tell you that I have found my answers, and I found my answers for today, and these might change tomorrow. So I also then strive when I'm up here to keep asking questions, to challenge our current thinking, to inspire further growth, and to push those edges a little bit, to seek new possibilities. Excuse me. And so often, what happens is I find myself right back where I've always gone every time I go through this process. Life is not simple. A plus B might equal C, but not always. A plus B could equal D, E, F, G, H, and all the rest of the alphabet and beyond. Life presents all kinds of possibilities. Whether you're on the edge, away from the edge, somewhere in between, getting close to the edge, possibilities are everywhere. We may want an either-or experience in the world, but eventually I always end up back at, Doug knows, both and. Both and. So, excuse me, this is what I don't like happening when I'm trying to speak. What a coincidence that I was working on this talk at the same time as the opening ceremonies for the 2026 Winter Olympics were taking place and the Super Bowl is happening today, all in one weekend. I took a little time out to watch the opening ceremonies. The Olympics to me are a prime example of our body's physical potential, and the Special Olympics just show our body's potential in different ways. All of it is on the edge of possibility. So I grabbed some of the quotes that were said by some of the speakers at the opening ceremonies because I really thought they pertained. One is, strength isn't just about winning, it is about courage, empathy, and heart. And so I thought as we might feel our strength physically becoming a little less than it used to be, we still have within us that courage and empathy and heart. And all of that is a form of strength. She said, when we see rivals embrace at the finish line, we are reminded that we can all choose respect. And I love that because I think part of what we continually do here is remember, even if we differ in an opinion, we can always choose respect. Christy Coventry is the leader of the International Olympic Committee, and she's the one that gave the talk that just really spoke to me. And she herself was an Olympian, and she mentioned that the people getting ready to compete are probably feeling excitement and nerves. Now, I liked how she said that. She didn't say excitement and fear. She said excitement and nerves. That speaks more clearly to me of the both and experience. Sometimes we can be really excited and still be having some nerves about something. It doesn't have to be full-blown fear. And she said, the Olympics show us how we can compete and also respect, inspire, and support each other. Both and. Fierce competition and a lot of inspiration, support, and respect for each other. So I just loved that that is the focus of this year's Winter Olympics. She summed up the Olympics, I know it's a lot, but I was so excited by what she said, a celebration of what unites us and everything that makes us human. And the human experience is our physical experience. The Olympics allow the best of humanity to shine before the world. The Olympics, whether it's the Special Olympics, Senior Olympics, the Olympics that are going on now, show the possibility of unity, cooperation, as it is more than just a sport. They are reminders of our common humanity and a call for peace. So when I think about the body and what it goes through in something like the Olympics in our bodies every day, even at the Olympics, they're saying we are more than our bodies. This is more than what our bodies can do. It's about how we interact and how we support and respect each other. This month's Science of Mind magazine, I'll pull it out for you, has an article in here called The Sacred Paradox of Desire by Joseph Nelson. It addresses the age-old question of desire. Is it something that we follow, or is it something we let go of, that we don't want to have desires? This article has a variety of viewpoints in it, viewpoints from Ernest Holmes, from Troward that we heard about a couple weeks ago, from Joel Goldsmith, as well as traditional Christian ideas attributed to Jesus, and also some things from the Buddhist teachings. The conclusion is that all of these different viewpoints say everything together. In other words, it's all of the above. Not one of those is right, but all of the above. All of the above can speak to us in regard to desires, both and all and. So I was considering, we have desires in our bodies. We have a desire for how we want our body to express in a certain way. We have a desire to experience health and physical comfort in our bodies. And each one of these opinions about desire could inform us about how we could look at those desires we have for our bodies as well. Again, the question, do we follow those desires or are we to detach from them? And how do we find the balance of both? So I'm going to read the conclusion of this, and I want you to bring to your mind something that you desire for your body to be able to do or experience, and how this might speak to that. This is the conclusion of that article. I encourage you to read the whole thing. Desire and detachment are not enemies. They are partners in spiritual life. Desire gives us movement. Detachment gives us peace. One draws us forward, the other teaches us to release. When they move in harmony, the soul soars. Troward described desire as the very breath of spirit. Holmes called it the divine urge seeking to express through us. Jesus redirected desire toward kingdom consciousness. Seek ye first the kingdom, and then all the other things will fall into place. Joel Goldsmith taught us to stop seeking and to dwell in the sufficiency of now. In other words, there's nothing to desire, you already have it all. The Buddha asked us to hold all things lightly, even our loftiest aspirations. All of them, each in their own way, point us to the same realization. What we seek is already within. Whether we call it divine urge, kingdom of God, inner stillness, or enlightened mind, the destination is the same. We are not here to reject desire, but to sanctify it, to let it arise from spirit, be guided by truth, and return us to peace. So both and all of the above. There isn't one right answer, but there's this combination. And as we open to spirit moving through us while we're on that edge, we listen within, we find those answers, and we move or we sit. We act or we rest, or we do little bits of both and. Ernest Holmes said, if you can't walk on water, take a boat. And when my mother was trying to tell me that she thought she had breast cancer, she told me, you chose to take a boat, and I didn't. She chose other means of handling that situation in her life. And more recently, many of us have watched and or supported our beloved Kathleen as she made choices around her body and her experience of having the diagnosis of cancer. Hopefully, we did so without judgment. Ultimately, she said to me just a few days before she passed, once I stopped fighting and resisting that I had cancer, I was at peace. And it's that peace that Reverend Terry taught me is the healing. She said my mother got her healing. Sometimes the healing doesn't look like what we want it to. The healing is when we find that peace in whatever method gets us there. Healing is the peace as it is revealed. So obviously, I'm talking a lot because this topic inspired me a lot. And I have two final takeaways that I want to focus on before I wrap this up. The first, when our bodies push us to the edge, the answers as to what to do and how to handle them are within us. If we want to clear our thinking, we can uncover old beliefs, we can work with a practitioner, talk to a trusted friend, a counselor, whatever works to help you clear some of that. That's great. And ultimately, the choices we make about our bodies and how we're going to progress in this experience, what food we eat, what we drink, what we ingest, whether we use traditional medicine, non-traditional, other things, it's all our choice. We center, we listen, and we comply or not. That's our choice. The second thing that I'd like you to take home. We, in this community, are here to do our very own best, like the Olympians are, the people at the Olympics, and to respect, inspire, and support each other. Not judge, not fix, and not share our opinions or ideas unless we are asked or given permission to. This spiritual community is a place where we're creating a safe space for each of us to safely grow and push those edges of our potential in our own ways. We are like that miniature Olympic village. We take our body's challenges and we know we are more than just our bodies. We are God or love expressing. And so it is. Thank you. Ooh, sorry, I went kind of long. Practitioners around this room, we're going to do some prayer. We know that this has brought up some thinking and thoughts and feelings for people. Please work with your practitioners and friends as you need to. So we just take all of this in, knowing that somewhere deep down we all grapple with what's going on in our bodies and why. And we know that Spirit and God is present in every breath that we take, in the love that we feel, in the joy that percolates through us, even sometimes in little moments as opposed to constant long stretches, but it's there. We feel it, we know it, we tap into it. And we open our hearts and minds to listen deeply to what Spirit is doing and wanting to do as it expresses in and through us. We open to the support and love of those in this community, to our friends, to the practitioners, to our families at times, those that are supportive of us on these paths. And we give great thanks for each of the little ahas, all of the ways that Spirit shows up as support and respect and love among us. I'm so grateful for everyone in this room, for every challenge that each person is going through. I know in the midst of it, God still is, as energy, as life, and as love. And so we hold each other up, we support each other, and we embrace each other in these thoughts, these words, and our actions, as we release and allow the Spirit to be. And so it is. So it is. Thank you. You're on.
Thank you. I feel so grateful to be here. Thank you for asking me. stand strong. We stand together. Spirits calm. Heading into rough weather. When the road is dark ahead, bring your own light. Keep safe the compass to guide us through the night. Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? You don't have to go alone. I'll stay with you. It's a steep and stony trail to where we wanna be. I'll keep a hiking just as high as I can. You can come with me. The struggle goes on. The struggle never ends. For something so simple, to treat your neighbors like your friends. Clear, sweet water and a clean blue sky. Food for all at the table, a safe place to lie. That's where we want to go. That's who we want to be. Scoffers say that it's a weak ideal, a fantasy. How can you ever know if you don't try? Find me hiking up that steep stone trail to the clean blue sky. We got to stand strong. We stand together. Spirits calm. Heading into rough weather. When the road is dark ahead, bring your own light. Keep safe the compass to guide us through the night.
Thank you. I love it. Yes, we are stronger together, and we do have light that we can take with us, don't we? Well, now is this time that we think about giving back to the center. And before we do that, I spoke a few weeks ago out of the ordinary about the center's finances, and so I want to bring you up to date. So if you will give me a few extra minutes here, I want to share with you some updated information. First, I want to let you know that our board had a retreat last Saturday, and we got very clear on our focus and the direction that we are headed. We came together, and I feel like we made some really good progress. And we still have an opening on the board, and we would love to have someone step up and join us. So please see Yvette or I, if any of you, and where's our Carrie is our acting board president, if you can let one of us know if you're interested. Anyway, regarding our finances, I personally went back to July and created a spreadsheet that had all of our deposits and all of our expenses and came to the realization that our expenses have gone up, as much as we were kind of hoping they hadn't. So now it takes $11,000 a month to run this center comfortably, to pay our staff and to cover our expenses. We have had some shifting around. We lost a paid staff position on Saturdays, which gave us back some. But then our cleaning person, Janice, and she's not here, I wanted to thank her today. She's retiring from cleaning for us. And the rate of cleaners has gone up from what she was willing to clean for. So the offers that we've had so far take us, even with the salary that we saved on Saturday, to about 65 to 165 more a pay period than what we were spending. Okay? Please note also that you are paying for your spiritual leadership between Yvette and I only about 25 to 26% of what is required to run this place. So that's not much. Just so you know, if you look at other organizations. We still give a lot of our time that's not reimbursed, though we are starting to document that so we can get a realistic picture of what it would cost should we be paid fully for all the time that we spend here. We will be giving you those numbers probably more clearly in June at the annual meeting. So the task right now for all of us is first to know and see the truly abundant nature of this center, our community, just for all of us to hold that in consciousness. We are a great idea that is fully supported by God or Spirit, the source of all our good. I want all of us to hold that vision, to know that truth in each one of your prayer times, your meditation time, whatever you do to connect with Spirit. See that truth for this center and this community. And as we know this, and as we hold that in consciousness, we know that we are being guided to either give more as we can and or to share fundraising ideas with the board and have the willingness to spearhead some of these ideas to see them through to fruition, and or to better and more efficiently make use of this building so it helps to pay for itself through rentals and events. So if you have ideas about that, please share them with us as well. So we do already have a few ideas that are taking place. And so I'm going to tell you briefly, and then there's more information out there. There'll be more information on the website. Instead of doing that massive treasure sale that took up both rooms and tons of days of our work, the team has decided to do multiple sidewalk sales throughout the year with targeted things that they will be offering at the sale. The first one, Saturday, March 7th, is going to be targeting kitchen items, home decor, and garden items. And there's a list of what you can bring in if you have those things that can go on that sidewalk sale. We'll be doing a series of these so it's easier to manage, a little more manageable bites. Like I talked about, some of our bodies don't want to walk around for 8 hours in a day and do all that stuff we were doing before. So check your newsletter. And see what is being offered to give out. We're also looking for other ways that we might be able to raise funds with some of the items that people are bringing. We are on Poshmark, I think it's called, and Janice has been helping with that. That brought in some money, $3,000 in the last week. So we're doing some good on other things. 4, according to Carrie. So now we're up to 4. So there are some good ideas that are already happening. For those of you who can contribute more to the operations of this beautiful community, we will gratefully receive. And for those of you who are already contributing what you can, we are exceedingly grateful. And we don't want the sharing of this information to create a sense of guilt, like I was talking about in the talk. Guilt and blame and shame, that's not the point of what we do. We feel the need to share with you so that we're being transparent about what's going on with our finances in the state of the center. And we know that our financial situation is righting itself, just like those weebles that won't fall down. We're manifesting new possibilities in a variety of ways that the flow continues. And giving has greatly improved since I talked about this the last time. So I am grateful to all of you who have participated in that and made that happen as well. And finally, if you are struggling financially yourself, or if you want to boost your understanding of how Spirit works abundantly in all areas of your life, if you want to boost how you think about what's going on here at the center, please consider joining my class, the book study we're going to do on abundance, which starts Thursday, February 19th. It's a great, and like Judy said, she is so funny. It's easy reading. It's a lot of fun, and we'll have lots of good discussion. And if you have any questions about the information that I've shared, if you want to see the spreadsheet, I don't know if I brought it with me today, but let me know. Talk to us, and please feel free to ask questions or step onto the board. We have one more place. And one of the principles that we know keeps this center open, has kept us open, kept us moving through COVID and all of the other challenges we've had, is the principle of tithing. That which we give out comes back. So this center tithes 10% of all that comes through every month. And this month, we are tithing to Border Servant Corps. They walk alongside migrants and their families in Ciudad Juarez and Amapara, offering welcome, care, meals, and real human presence during times of deep uncertainty. Their way of showing up with humility, kindness, and love reflects the values we hold as a community, and we are honored to partner with them this month. So please consider that. Let's say our blessing. Thank you so much. Ready? There we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And we will sing, I am so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Well, I hope you feel as blessed as I do this morning. And I know that everything that flows in and through this center is to support the good that is present here, in, through, and among us, the light that we re-spark every week as we come together, as we take it out into the world. We are a blessing. This community is a blessing, and we are blessed. And so it is. Thank you. What are we singing to go on out? And thank you for your extra time this morning.
Yeah, go out and shine.
Go out and shine. All right, that works.
Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Woo, those jazz hands. Have a wonderful day, everybody.